students today are surrounded by a lot of technology, especially the internet and computers. You have smartphones and iPad and everything. Do these gadgets actually help them to study or actually distract them from the study?
It depends how they use it. I think it's useful if you know how to use them. These gadgets open up the horizons of learning English actually, because you can access to any English article that you're interested in, because then you can customize your own curriculum, your own interest into what you prefer to read. Not just this passage or that passage, but then if you're a sports fan, then you can update the latest result of the soccer match through iPad. And also if you're like a big fan of Hollywood, you can follow every move of your favorite stars through the gossip channels.
At least learn the English from there, right?
Sure. The curriculum isn't just restricted in just a book or books, but you can choose to your own preference.
Now some students I talk to, they don't even know how to start when they want to learn English. They only see grammars and then tenses that they have to memorize. Where should they start or how should they start? What would be your advice?
They can start with their own hobbies. If they like to read, then what kind of books do they like? If they like Harry Potter, right? Just change the Thai version to the English Harry Potter version. Then you can also have fun with it, and also learn a lot of English from that. And also, if you like to go to the movies, right? You can see a lot of English movies, but don't just see the movies that are dubbed in Thai or don't read a lot of subtitle or closed captions of Thai. Just try to listen.
It's all about practice, right? Language.
It's all about practice. Yeah, you've got to practice hard.
Now some people, when they go up the ladder of learning and it gets more difficult, the vocabularies become longer, more complex, people tend to give up. What would be your advice to those students or anyone actually trying to learn English?
You know, I found out that English is a skill. You know, it's a kind of skill. The key is that you never stop using it. That's it. You just use it every day, but you don't have to be intensive in using it. You don't have to use it like 24/7, but just never stop using it. And then you learn how to use those difficult vocabulary, and you feel that it's not that difficult automatically, because it will totally absorb in your brain without your knowing. But I think you can expand your vocabulary not just by practice with real foreigners, but you can also, like as you said, all those gadgets. You can delve into more technical terms. Like if you want to know more jargon about medical terms, then you can browse into the medical website or read medical journal.
You've been teaching for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
What are the main obstacles for students in learning new languages like English or even other languages?
Fear.
Fear?
Yeah. I think the main barrier is the fear, because they're afraid of making mistakes. Yeah. Because usually Thai kids are quite shy and nervous, right? Because they lack confidence. Actually, they know a lot of grammar, as you said, and a lot of vocabulary to start out with speaking. But The problem is they're afraid of they're going to use wrong grammatical rules. They're going to mispronounce the words. They're going to use wrong words or vocabulary. So they don't even dare to start speaking.
Now, for admission tests that all students have to take in this country, do you think it's a good way to measure the knowledge of English that they have?
Well, a good question.
They're multiple choice testing, right?
Actually, to a certain degree, it can measure. But then, as I put the question before, that what kind of results do we want from the students? What kind of students we like to shape and we like them to be? If they want them to be academic, then we're pretty successful because they're pretty academic. They know how to check choice, to check those multiple choice exams of how to speak, right? Because they have speaking section too in the exam. But in real life, they don't really know how to speak, and they don't even have the courage to speak. So maybe if they care so much about the exam, if the exam will be transformed to measure the real life skill, then I see that we can create the excitement of how we can shape the new generation of the students to come.
How do other countries do it, like Vietnam or other ASEAN countries? Okay, some countries, English is like their first or second language as well, but people really speak, even though with accent. Singaporean has Singlish. Filipino, they have their own Tagalog English, but
they don't
dare
care
to
about the accent, they just communicate.
Yeah, but how do they teach their students to actually just speak? You know, we have a problem in doing this, I think. We can't just speak, we have to think first, and then we lose a lot of time in doing that. We are afraid, like you said, fear, we are afraid to make mistakes. Yeah.
I think if you've got to see Thailand, you have to compare Thailand with Korea and Japan. I see that all those countries also get stuck with how to speak English too. Their speaking skill hasn't much improved, right? Because they don't use the natural approach in learning English and also the holistic approach of the 4 skills. I think if we don't just put any emphasis on any single skill like we do today on reading, then it will help a lot. Because if you look at Singapore, as you said, or Philippines, they will encourage their students to learn through real life situations and get them to speak. No matter what happens, just speak and don't be afraid. One more skill that I think is also crucial is thinking. Thinking in English. Because if we only read, then we don't put the whole picture of the language skill, of how to learn a language skill should be the 4 skills, right? Then you don't know how to think in English. I think it's very crucial. If you just read, then your brain will always translate from Thai to English or English to Thai, right? But if once you get started with speaking and you try to listen to the real English, right? And then you write your diary, maybe start from easy diary. I got up at 8 and then I brushed my teeth and took a shower, then I went to school, and that's the first step of how you practice thinking in English. And then to a more sophisticated context, you can think in English.
You're now also a visiting professor at
Yeah.
the University of Essex in England.
Yeah.
What do you teach there?
They invited me to teach memology actually, and actually to introduce in concept that, because they heard that we use the learning methodology that quite different. So they want to see how we teach Thai students successfully to transform them to love English, because they already know English, right?
So you sing for them, right? You
Yeah.
sing for the professors there. This is what I do.
Yeah, actually that's one of the process, and also I gave them lecture. I have to compose a new song called Sing Thai, because they won't see how it operates, right? Because they already know English.
Yeah.
So I teach them Thai instead, but using memology method. Yeah, with all the music videos and the songs that we compose for them.
Oh, can you demonstrate some of that? You must be teaching them some simple Thais, right?
Yeah. สวัสดีครับ Hi hi hello สวัสดีค่ะ Hi hi hello สบายดีไหม How are you doing สบายดีค่ะ I am alright. Oh, I mean, it's amazing. All the class can speak easy Thai phrases and sentences in just like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Wow. So is memology a copyrighted idea
Yeah.
of yours these days?
Yeah.
So you're the original thinker of memology
Yeah. We are.
in Thailand or around the world?
Now we only copyrighted it in Thailand, but we also considering of expanding to the global market too.
How do you view your own success today? And concept, as I remember it, over 10 years ago, it's just a small tutoring place. But here today, we are at Discovery Center, right in the middle of the city. And look at this place. This is a big, beautiful place.
Thank you. Actually, I don't see my success through the number of branches of the number of students or the luxury of the place or anything, but I feel I feel pretty moved when the students come up to me and say, I love English because of you and thank you for that. You changed my life. I owe you a lot because I passed into the university entrance exams, and I will start pick up speaking skill. You get me to speak, and these are my success, I think.
What's
really.
the pleasure for you out of being a teacher?
I think it's a rewarding job. It's feel like you're really helping people, not just to have them have a career in the future, but to let them stand on their own feet, to how they earn a living, how to feed their family, but also we can help them develop the spiritual growth too, by teaching them ethics and morals. I think it's a very rewarding job indeed, to contribute something back to the society.
Now I walk past this place and there are many rooms that look very interesting. Well, in my generation, if we go to a tutor place, English or whatever subjects, we don't have such rooms. Maybe you can please show me around.
Alright, sure, follow me.